Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's story is one of the most intense and surprising joint military and federal operations ever carried out in the Caribbean. It involves the United States Navy working together with the FBI to strike a secret fleet of cartel-controlled ships worth over $30 billion. These weren't ordinary vessels. They were heavily modified smuggling ships, semi-submersible sea craft, and even disguised cargo carriers that moved drugs, weapons, and cash throughout the Caribbean. What happened next turned the region into one of the most aggressive high-seas crackdowns seen in decades. So let's break down exactly how the U.S. discovered this hidden cartel fleet, how the Navy and FBI coordinated their strike, and what the aftermath meant for global smuggling networks. It all began when U.S. intelligence agencies intercepted encrypted communications between cartel operatives in Central America and offshore captains working in the Caribbean Sea. These messages contained unusual navigation routes that did not match normal fishing or commercial shipping patterns. At first, analysts thought it was just another smuggling operation, but what made it stand out was the scale. There were dozens of ships involved, moving in strict formations, timing their routes around weather patterns, and avoiding known radar surveillance zones. It was too organized to be random. Someone had built a full-fledged maritime logistics network, and they were operating right under the nose of multiple nations. What the U.S. discovered was shocking. The cartel had built and deployed what intelligence analysts called a shadow fleet. This fleet included refurbished cargo ships bought through shell companies, fast attack boats used as escorts, and custom semi-submersible vessels designed to avoid radar detection. These semi-subs could slip through major trade routes almost invisible, carrying tons of illegal shipments at a time. The estimated value of the goods moved through this network reached nearly $30 billion a year. And most of it was flowing through the Caribbean, through waters where the U.S. Navy constantly patrols. The cartel had become bold, too bold. Once the threat was confirmed, the United States brought in the FBI Transnational Organized Crime Division. Their job wasn't just to seize ships. It was to identify every individual bank account, shell company, fuel supply station, and captain involved. This operation needed to cut out the entire route of the network, not just one shipment. The FBI traced money flowing through offshore accounts, cryptocurrency exchanges, and fake shipping companies registered in multiple small Caribbean island nations. At the same time, Navy intelligence monitored the fleet's movement at sea. The plan became a two-part strike. The FBI would target the financial web on land, while the U.S. Navy targeted the operational fleet at sea. Timing, secrecy, and precision were critical. If even one cartel commander learned what was coming, the entire fleet would scatter, sink, or disappear before the U.S. could act. The operation began just before dawn on a calm morning. The U.S. Navy deployed guided missile destroyers, coastal patrol ships, and maritime surveillance aircraft to locate and track the cartel fleet. Meanwhile, FBI teams and local special forces in partner nations conducted raids across multiple islands and coastal territories. Bankers were arrested, fuel suppliers detained, shell company managers interrogated, and cartel commanders surrounded. The aim was simple: collapse the network's backbone immediately before the fleet realized what was happening. Out on the water, the confrontation escalated. As Navy destroyers approached the shadow fleet, cartel escorts attempted to shield the larger cargo ships. These escort craft were fast, heavily armed with illegal weapons, and crewed by men trained specifically to evade capture. They weren't Navy sailors, but they were determined, skilled, and desperate. When the U.S. Navy ordered them to surrender, they refused. Flares launched into the sky, warnings were given, and then engines roared as the cartel boats tried to flee. What followed was a high-speed chase across open water. Navy helicopters hovered low, guiding smaller U.S. patrol craft to intercept the fleeing vessels. Some cartel crews ditched their boats and tried to escape into the sea. Others attempted to destroy their own ships to eliminate evidence. One semi-submersible semi-submersible vessel tried to dive, but U.S. helicopters dropped tracking buoys around it, forcing it to surface. Meanwhile, FBI agents raided villas, safe houses, and clandestine docking bays used to store and repair the modified fleet. Documents, sat phones, and encrypted laptops were seized. The cartel's financial network began collapsing in real time. With their leadership cut off, the crew members at sea had no command guidance. Some surrendered, others panicked, a few tried to fight to the end. The standoff in the Caribbean waters lasted hours. The U.S. Navy surrounded the larger cargo ships. Boarding teams approached cautiously, not knowing if the cartel had booby-trapped the ships. What they found stunned investigators. Inside the vessels were hidden compartments so expertly engineered that they were invisible to standard cargo scans. Some compartments ran the entire length of the ship. Millions in cash were sealed behind welded panels. Guns, explosives, and encrypted communication gear were stacked in climate-controlled crates. This wasn't just smuggling. This was industrial-scale maritime operation. When the dust settled, dozens of cartel ships were seized, hundreds of operatives were arrested, and billions worth of illegal cargo was taken into U.S. custody. The estimated hit to the cartel's finances was devastating. But more importantly, the Shadow Fleet was destroyed. Without it, their ability to move product, weapons, and cash was crippled. The Caribbean, however, did not return to silence. Word of the U.S. operation quickly spread among rival cartels and international smugglers. Some feared they were next. Others saw opportunity in the power vacuum left behind. The region became tense, uncertain, and ready for the next move. The United States made it clear that this was only the beginning. New surveillance networks, stronger naval patrol routes, and expanded intelligence sharing agreements were put into place. The message was unmistakable. Any Shadow Fleet would be found, tracked, and eliminated. This operation reminds us that modern crime isn't just happening in cities and borders. It's happening on the open ocean. The cartels have become maritime powers in their own right, and so the U.S. Navy has become not just a force of national defense, but a guardian of the world's shipping lanes. If you found this breakdown interesting, make sure you like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into real global military and security operations. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.